Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here today. My name is Andie, and I enjoy informing people about the changing times we're going through esoterically and also from experience being a baby boomer myself, but more on the 57th 3W energy, which is work, worry, and weight loss for that generation of us. I really want to talk to us about what is happening in our world on a regular basis and I made this commitment. And as we're moving forward, we are moving into an energy, this Plutonic energy that is facing, that we are facing, and that we have to move through with, is very significant to the point where we have to really talk about what Pluto is doing uh, at the very uh, beginning of Aquarius. It's changing the attitude of the planet. It's having us recognize that we are in a moment of choice. And Pluto is direct at this time and will be going retrograde on the 3 degrees that it's been traveling over since it ingressed in 2024, since it became part of permanent Aquarius in 2024. So this is a moment that for us, we are also ending the age of the forerunner, and we are embarking the time of initiation. And for those of us that are disciple initiates, believer in metaphysics, and uh, we are being given a responsibility to outthink of ourselves out of the robot mindset. What I have noticed the last couple of days, in many conversation, what I notice is the limitation of us human willing to look past a world without this complete automation with robot on everything, because we are human beings. We're meant to be on the planet Earth, and we are the steward of this planet, and we have responsibilities. So the power to align this new initiation that we're going through, and as Neptune enters Aries, Neptune is mentality. So in 2024, we went through the dance all through 2024. Pluto going into uh, Aquarius and then to Capricorn and Aquarius, and we felt all these changes. And now we are addressing those changes. A lot has been revealed. Uh, And these things that have been revealed, many of us had predicted for the last decade. Many of us were who are empaths, sensitive healers, astrologers, uh, points of light in the world, no matter how minuscule our our presence on the planet is. Each and every one of us that is here today, we're spiritual being having human experiences, and each and every one of us that have chosen to be on this planet today uh, have chosen the responsibility to take care of it. And we are coming into an age where we have been preparing to enter the acceptance of the digital age. We can accept the digital age, but we must regulate it. But also the acceptance that that's also a different culture, and that there might be an enormous amount of positive. But we as human, we must prepare our imaginations our way of thinking into new plans beyond the robotic takeover of just, assembly lines. So these assembly lines are real. They're not being taken over by other people from other countries. They're taken over by robots. And we can, and this is where, at this moment, it's very important to understand that we have to start thinking ourselves out of that finality that many human beings sees out of that adaptations that we are faced with. We're going to learn to go through it. What I think that is very curious, as I was looking at the degree that Pluto is today, is on the 3rd degree of Aquarius. So since he changed into this sign where Pluto is going to be in the sign of Aquarius for 19 years, this is like a layout of cognitive abilities that is coming to each and every one of us. New sensory system that we are adjusting and learning to trust individually. We all have to begin to understand that to facilitate these new skills, these new methods of being, because it is new methods of being that we are being upgraded and experienced with at this time. We're learning how to be with these new ways of being. And today's energy, the magician that is on the 3rd degree of Aquarius, his name is Badet. And he is to inspire man with the creative power of imagination is the object of this head of the zone girding the earth. The magician with too little imagination should address this intelligence. So the magician, someone like me, someone that practices the arts of creating, imagining things, having them come to life and experience in life, we have to start using our imagination in a much better way, give it a little bit more expansion. So the magician with too little imagination should address this intelligence. Pluto will go retrograde on the 3rd degree of Aquarius. It's in about what? It's gone May 4th. So it's not very far from now, a couple of weeks from now. Pluto goes retrograde twice a year. And when he does go, it's like a partition of the population. There are the people that have been born with Pluto retrograde, and there are the people that have been born with Pluto direct. And I always, from doing astrology and learning all of these amazing symmetries, it's really interesting to see what occurs when you become aware of that little detail about Pluto. So when Pluto goes retrograde on May 4th, he's going to go station, and then he's going to be on the 3rd degree, and he's going to go over those 3 degrees. And on this very inspired man moment of degrees, that we are 3 degrees of Aquarius, the methods. Okay, hold on a second. Little imagination should address this intelligence, from whom he will get assistance in this respect. So if you began to imagine what's beyond the age of acceptance and utility of artificial intelligence, it's not human intelligence, it's artificial intelligence, a tool that we human have been given electrical consciousness and pulsation to engage with. Telepathy is going to become an immediate skill that many of us are going to play with. So the method Bade will entrust the magician, which will give the latter a marvelous faculty of imagination. And apart from this, he will learn how to think in a creative manner and how to transpose certain thoughts into the Akasha in order to realize the results he wants to see. This is a tool to know this little bit of knowledge, that little bit of inspiration, that we're on a degree that we have the opportunity to make use of with our imagination and address it to your unique understanding, your unique self. Because we come to sensitivity and de-densifying our energy, our ways of being, we become less dense and more capable to receive ideas that can grab a substance within your sensitive skills and also talents that are particular to you. You were born in a certain time that you know that for the next 90 years at least, you have a mission in those three houses specifically addressed to you. And how you're going to embrace that, that is up to you. But that only comes with the ability to give ourselves this imaginative knowledge and to learn how the quality of your charts are and your sensitivities. So Badet at 3 Aquarius, I'm going to read it without interrupting in this time. To inspire man with the creative power of imagination is the object of this head of the zone girding the earth. The magician with too little imagination should address his intelligence, with whom he will get assistance in this respect. The method Badet will entrust the magician with, which will give the latter a marvelous faculty of imagination, and apart from this, he will learn how to think in a creative manner and how to transpose certain thoughts into the Akasha in order to realize the result he wants to see. Now, let's look at Pluto. Pluto's significance in the archives. It's about minerals, but it's also about our own natural minerals that we are born with in our physical bodies. So we're moving into a moment where minerals are going to be a continued subject of respect. And as we move forward in this Holy Week, I would love for you guys to begin to imagine yourselves beyond the AI crisis and how we can tame and how we can regulate appropriately for the density of this global population what is right for humanity. I think human beings are experts into hurting each other, and I think we should become expert into being better to each other. So this little bit of understanding about Badet and this moment where Pluto is opposing Mars, that is actually entering Leo. So we're having this point of Mars in Leo at 0 Leo today, just as the sun is coming into Taurus. We know that Mars in Leo at this moment, it's on the reverse wheel when we think about esoteric energy. And Mars rules the third decade of Leo, the third decade of Leo. If Leo is partitioned amongst the member of the fire triplicities, Aries, exoterically rules Mars. And we also have Neptune coming into Aries right now. So this fire energy would then correspond to the third decade. So I'm reading from Makara.us. It's got a compilation of specific expression of Mars and Leo. That is from my own experience studying this subject over and over. Have supported me enormously, especially in the last 5 years that I've been coming to these new realizations in my life of wanting to support others and understanding that we are in a moment that is really gratifying for all of us in many ways. And one of the things that I've acquired in the last 5 years, as we were going through that 27-degree Capricorn and on, where there was so much, all kinds of things, and at the same time, Venus was in Leo. Right now, we have Mars in Leo that has done 3 points of connection. And before it completes this point of connection at 6-degree Leo and goes on its merry way with what he gave us in revelation, in our sensitivities. These revelations that we are facing, that we are choosing as Neptune enters Aries, is moving into a mentality that we get to choose, but we also have the support of a new intelligence of all of us corresponding online and talking to each other, helping each other, uplifting each other against the density of hate and atrocities. We're expert at atrocities. And we have come to a time that in the next 10 years, there's going to be more feminine energy on this planet that the masculine energy is trying to adapt with and also destroy at this moment in senseless way. There's a moment that we're moving toward that is inevitable. And that is the connection between women and men to support each other instead of fight each other, to accept each other's qualities, that we come into these bodies as female or male. There is a spiritual being that came with it. It came here to have this journey and this adventure. And we are all here with the reason to, live out this adventure. We owe it to this incarnation we're in. I'm in a moment in my life where I gone through a lot of not so pleasant things, but I have also gained an enormous amount of respect for myself through being willing to do the enormous amount of life reviews since the pandemic. Remember when the world, we were all sent to our rooms. Many of us found ourselves in our ways of being in those couple of years, isolated and choosing things. And after all that awfulness, that we could actually become hateful toward each other is, I can't understand that. We should be able to support each other. So we're in a moment where that degree of opposition with Mars with Pluto that we're about to face. This is the last time it's going to be there. And it's giving us the opportunity to choose. And we can see across the planet where people wants to be free to think for who they are with the talents and the skills that they can become sharper with and get better beings with. And this is in the next couple of years. We're really going to feel that in 2026. There's going to be a change because hate and atrocities is not acceptable in today's energy field. We're smarter than that. So Mars, in relation to the etheric vehicle, our bodies, okay, the overall effect of Mars and Leo upon the etheric body is vitalizing and positive. Taken alone as an indicator, independently of others' perhaps contrary influence, it will increase the etheric radiation, immunity, and the general force and impact of the etheric vehicle upon the dense physical body. There will be no difficulty specializing prana, as may be found with Mars in Cancer or Pisces. We just had Mars in Cancer for quite a while, and we all felt physically. I know that I have extremely tired, battle weary, uh, more life reviews than I can even consider. And this energy that is really many of us in our 60s and up, I've had to be confronted with a lot of mini life reviews. We probably have been faced in our times of alone, not alone, but solitude, well spent, where we are calibrated with pictures of ourselves in different timelines of ourselves. And this is when we notice that we can actually make adjustment. So taking advantage of our imagination, looking back into our rear view mirrors of our lives, experiencing the satisfaction of having been might give us a better idea of how to be forward. There is in our charts specific indicators to help us accomplish that a lot more easily nowadays, even though astrology and healing and channeling is not a widely yet accepted way of being. I can guarantee you that there's a lot of people like Charles Schwab and other people that uses astrologies for specific reasons. And they knew exactly that this time was coming and they've been preparing for it. But there's also many of us that have known that this time was coming and we've been preparing for it. Internal intelligence is a faculty that we have that no computer can take over with. It can influence us in thinking a certain way, but we are becoming smarter. Many of us are releasing density, where when the winds of change comes in, we can sense them quicker than others. If you are a will to do good and working the plan of this planet, which is a plan to become better at being humans and investigator of the cosmos, because in the near future we will be having really a lot of investigation of the cosmos that's going to be affecting each and every one of us, and we have to imagine other life forms. So the influence of this radiation that we've been receiving, our immune system is being upgraded. Uh, I remember like 5 years, 10 years ago, uh, but mainly 5 years ago when we went into the pandemic, many of us that were, isolated and everything, we've had a chance to work with our inner consciousness. Many of us that had done these long modalities to learn this and that actually sat down in those years and thought of what is this? So right now I would want us to think about what is this? How can I use my time the best way possible? I'm talking to my 68, 70, 80 people, 80-year-old people, because there's a lot of us online at this age. I want us to go into these really difficult memories right now and use the advantage of the water bearer. Remember, the water bearer in history used to be a female or children. So the water bearer, when it's represented by a man, it's kind of like organized that way, but it's really a water bearer in back in the days were females and children. Male were not doing that job. So that water bearer that we're moving with right now is truly a female energy. And this female energy is about community, it's about taking care and nurturing. So you can see it as the water bearer, like with all these alleys of flowers as she walks through the ground, implanting new imagination. So when we're looking at Bidet at 3 degree of Aquarius, and it gives us the inspiration to be creative with the power of imagination. So let's look at this water bearer as a female energy, because we're moving into a time of asymmetry. The components are different, but they can work together. They like kind. So this very enormous subconscious electrical imagination that is coming to us as we are closing the direct part of Pluto going direct, the warrior going direct. As we're closing that, we move into the retrograde of Pluto on May 4th. And we're going to be reviewing 3, 2, 1. We really want, as a society, as a global society, or whoever listen to these talks, we really want to adjust and ingest, make sense of the gift that Buddha can be for us in this opportunity to remind us to use our imagination. So for me, it's an opportunity to become very quickly. Another thing that 3 degree of Aquarius does is because it brings in a new social atmosphere. It gives us different interests. It's not focused energy on any specific area except that the mental becomes a lot more emotional. The mental becomes more emotional. And it is that 3 Aquarius, it quickly, very quickly adapts to a new environment and social atmosphere. It has different interests. for very specific areas. And you can learn to be generous. It also has this impressionable, compassionate part of itself. That 3 Aquarius is concerned primarily with inner spiritual development, prone to moodiness. So as we get through this 3 Aquarius spiritually, connecting with our unique self primarily, because at this moment in the world, we are required to assist and go out in the world and demand what we want, because we have been pushed to that wall. So this is a time for us to grasp, to get these ideas going, to take advantage of becoming idealistic, sensitive, impressionable, compassionate. That's our job. So when we're looking at this amazing time with Mars entering Leo today, also the Sun entering Taurus, fixed sign, Leo fixed sign. Remember that the Sun, which is part of Leo, is ruler, is the oracle. What are we going to have in our points of vision? What are you going to create the oracle of your infinity with? Sensitivities where you can be serene, you can enjoy your own identity, simple as it is. Be of duty, know why you were born in each stage of your life. The future is the future human beings that are being born now and that are already born, the Capricorn generation, and they are going to be more aware of their astrology than ever, because we have to insist that they do. It's going to help them regenerate a lot quicker, and they're born with special talents and skills. This is a very specific identity that they're here with. They were born with Capricorn, creating a finality. And they have a mission that is going to be felt by us about 20 years from now when they become of age. And about 20 years from now, when they become of age, Libra is going to be going through a stellium of planet like Pisces has been going at this moment. And that coming of age will create a new resonance, because they're going to be finally arriving in the last house of Pisces. And I believe finally completing the age of Pisces by the end, and then it returns to Aries. So it's I won't be around, but I do know this form of me is not going to be around, but this spiritual being will probably be interested to show up in those times, because I would love to be able to play with those energies. And that's what astrology does. It teaches us how to play with certain energies that has a tendency to help you manifest in your life and create points of imagination in concrete instant that are really going to help you have a better satisfied life. So this is really the baby boomer energy that really, as we're closing out this incarnation, it's important to pay attention to what we're doing and to take the time to do our short mini life reviews, because if we do them on this side, we won't be taking them on in our transitions. We've learned something from it. So thank you for listening to me, and these are just my point of view. It's for entertainment only, and if you like, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, ask me a question, and thank you for letting me play with you guys, and I really appreciate it. Good night.